Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about a truth that often hides in plain sight. The reality that not everyone who claims to care about you genuinely does. Life is a journey of relationships, and the quality of those relationships often determines our sense of fulfillment, peace, and purpose. However, when we are surrounded by people who lack genuine care, it creates confusion, pain, and even hinders our ability to move forward. Understanding the signs that someone does not truly care is not about being judgmental, but about protecting your heart and investing your time wisely. Caring is seen, not just said. True care is always evident in actions. When someone truly cares, their deeds will match their words consistently. They don't just promise to show up, they actually do. They don't merely say they're there for you, they demonstrate it when you're in need. Words without action are meaningless. And if someone is consistently saying one thing but doing another, you have to question the sincerity of their care. There is nothing more dangerous than falling in love with the wrong person and to spend your whole life trying to change their minds. The other thing, care isn't caring, which is why some people consistently say one thing but doing another. You have to question the sincerity of their care. Another sign is the absence of sacrifice. Care always demands some level of giving, of time, energy, and effort. When someone cares about you, they will be willing to inconvenience themselves for your well-being. It could mean making time for a conversation even when their schedule is busy, or showing up when it's not easy. But if someone avoids sacrifice, if they always prioritize their own comfort over your needs, it is a clear indication that their level of care is superficial. Real love does not seek to protect itself. It seeks to give. Priorities are another key indicator. People always make time for what matters most to them. It's not about whether they are busy, because everyone is busy. It's about what they choose to make room for despite the busyness. If someone constantly places other things above you, whether it's work, hobbies, or even trivial distractions, they are communicating where their true priorities lie. You should never have to fight for space in the life of someone who truly cares about you. Consistency is also a hallmark of genuine care. When someone truly cares, their behavior remains steady over time. They don't show up one day with overwhelming affection and disappear the next. Their love and attention do not depend on convenience or circumstance. On the other hand, inconsistency, whether in their communication, presence, or affection, is a loud and clear message. It shows that their investment in you is conditional, and care that is conditional is not care at all. People who genuinely care hold themselves accountable for their actions. If they make a mistake, they own up to it. They don't hide behind excuses or shift blame. They make an effort to make things right because they value the relationship. When someone consistently offers excuses instead of taking responsibility, it shows a lack of regard for the bond they share with you. Accountability is one of the highest forms of respect, and where it is absent, care is absent as well. Care is also seen in attentiveness. Someone who cares about you will pay attention to your needs, whether they are emotional, physical, or spiritual. They will notice when you're not okay, and they will make an effort to respond. On the contrary, if someone consistently ignores or dismisses your needs, it is a sign that their focus is more on themselves than on you. Genuine love is selfless. It does not seek its own. Understanding is another sign of care. A person who values you will make the effort to know and understand you. They will listen with intention, learn what matters to you, and strive to see life from your perspective. If someone shows no interest in understanding your world or dismisses your feelings as unimportant, it reveals a lack of depth in their care. Relationships are built on connection, and connection requires understanding. Finally, care is always fruitful. When someone truly cares, their actions bring good things into your life: peace, joy, security, and trust. If their presence consistently leaves you feeling confused, drained, or hurt, it is a clear sign that their care is either absent or insufficient. You cannot fake the fruit. It always reveals the quality of the tree. True care is not complicated, but it is clear, It is seen, felt, and experienced through consistent and sacrificial actions. If you find yourself in relationships where these signs are missing, it is not a reflection of your worth, but an indication that it may be time to reevaluate where you invest your energy. Absence of sacrifice signals absence of concern. Care and love are never just about convenience, they are about commitment. Where there is no willingness to sacrifice time, energy, or resources, care is absent. Sacrifice is the evidence of value. When someone truly cares, they will give, even when it costs them something. They will adjust their schedule to make time for you. They will expend their energy to ensure your well-being. They will share their resources, even when it means they have to go without. Sacrifice is love in motion, and without it, care becomes an empty concept. My wife Kate and I reached Lisbon that day. They chose Lisbon to stay with their grandparents as they were ready to move back to India. Love and commitment demand giving, not withholding. Genuine care requires a person to move beyond their comfort zone. It's easy to say you care when it doesn't cost you anything, but true care shows itself when there is a price to pay. Sacrifice means being willing to give up something valuable for someone else's benefit. It's choosing to stay up late to support a friend who's struggling, even when you're exhausted. Scripture, it's setting aside your plans to help someone in need. It's offering what you have, no matter how little, to make someone else's load lighter. This kind of care is selfless, and it is the very essence of love. On the other hand, when there is no sacrifice, it signals a lack of concern. If someone refuses to make even the smallest adjustments for you or repeatedly prioritizes their comfort over your needs, it reveals where you stand in their life. People will always invest in what they value. If they are unwilling to give of themselves, it means they do not value you enough to make that effort. Sacrifice is a choice, and when someone chooses not to, it speaks volumes about the depth of their care. Sacrifice also reflects the level of priority you hold in someone's life. People make sacrifices for what they deem important. Think about the things you care most about: your family, your career, your health. You sacrifice for these things because they matter to you. If someone truly cares about you, they will treat you the same way. They will prioritize your needs and well-being, not just in words, but in action. Their willingness to inconvenience themselves, to step out of their comfort zone, shows that you hold a significant place in their heart. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. It's important to understand that sacrifice is not always grand or dramatic. It can be as simple as giving up an evening to spend quality time with you, or making an effort to listen when you need to be heard. It can be choosing to show patience when they're frustrated, or offering encouragement when you're feeling low. These acts of sacrifice may seem small, but they carry tremendous weight because they show intentionality and care. Correct. The absence of even these small sacrifices, however, reveals a deeper issue, a lack of genuine concern. Some people may say they care but will avoid any situation that requires them to give. They may excuse their behavior by saying they're too busy, too tired, or too overwhelmed. Yet they seem to find the time and energy for other things they care about. This pattern of withholding is not about their limitations, but their priorities. Where there is true care, people will go out of their way to show it. CPS, love does not hold back. It pours out. It gives freely, even at a personal cost. When someone truly cares, their sacrifices won't feel forced or reluctant. They will give with joy because they understand that sacrifice is an expression of love. It is not about obligation, but about choice. Sacrifice says, you are worth it. If someone consistently avoids sacrifice, it is not just a lack of action, it is a lack of love. Genuine care cannot exist without the willingness to give of oneself. Where sacrifice is absent, concern is absent. And it's crucial to recognize this truth before it leaves you feeling drained and unappreciated. Footnote: finding the right consultant for your direction. End of footnote. Priorities reveal affection. The way people allocate their attention, time, and energy is the clearest indicator of what they truly value. Actions always speak louder than words. And in the case of relationships, they scream the truth about where a person's heart lies. What is prioritized shows what or who is most important in their life. You don't have to guess what matters to someone. You simply have to observe where their focus is consistently directed. When someone truly cares, they will naturally make space for you in their life. It won't feel forced or like an afterthought. Instead, their commitment to spending time with you, communicating with you, or supporting you will be evident. Care is not just about grand gestures or occasional acts of kindness. It's about showing up consistently in the small, everyday moments. Priorities are reflected not in what people say they value, but in what they repeatedly choose to invest their time and energy in. It is essential to understand that everyone has limited resources: time, energy, and attention. And people will always allocate these resources based on what they deem significant. If someone consistently prioritizes work, hobbies, or even trivial distractions over you, it sends a clear message about where you stand in their life. You should never have to beg for someone's attention or force them to make time for you. When you are important to someone, they will ensure you feel that importance without you having to ask. It's also crucial to recognize that priorities are not about convenience. True care requires making choices that reflect what matters most, even when those choices are inconvenient. For example, someone who prioritizes you will find ways to be there for you, even in the midst of their own busyness. They will reschedule meetings, adjust their plans, or make sacrifices to ensure that you feel valued. These actions demonstrate that you are not just an option, but a priority in their life. End of quote. However, when someone consistently puts you at the bottom of their list, it's an unmistakable sign of a lack of genuine care. Excuses like "I'm too busy" or "I just didn't have time" often mask the reality that they chose to invest their time elsewhere. Busyness is not an excuse for neglect. It's a reflection of what they deem more significant. Everyone is busy, but people make time for what they care about. If you are not a priority, their actions will make it painfully clear, no matter what their words may say. It's also worth noting that care is not about making someone the center of your universe, but about creating space for them to feel seen, heard, and valued. Priorities are about balance, not obsession. A healthy relationship is built on mutual respect for each other's time and commitments, but within that framework, there should always be a clear effort to show that the other person holds a significant place in your life. This balance ensures that care is not just felt but understood and appreciated. When someone truly prioritizes you, they are intentional about their efforts. They remember the things that matter to you. They make time for meaningful conversations, and they ensure that their actions align with their words. This intentionality shows that their affection is not fleeting or conditional, but rooted in genuine care. It is a reflection of their heart and a testament to how much they value you. Conversely, when someone fails to prioritize you, it often leads to feelings of neglect, frustration, and insecurity. Relationships require effort, and when that effort is absent, it's a sign that the connection lacks the depth necessary to thrive. Prioritization is not just about action, it's about commitment. It says, "You matter to me, and I'm willing to show it." The truth is, you can't force someone to prioritize you. Their actions will always reveal their affection, or the lack of it. Recognizing this allows you to stop chasing people who consistently make you feel like an afterthought, and to invest your energy where it will be reciprocated. Affection is not hidden, it's shown openly through what someone is willing to prioritize, and it is there that you will find the clearest measure of care. Consistency is the mark of genuine care. When someone truly cares, their actions, affection, and attention remain steady over time. They don't just show up when it's convenient or when they need something. They are present in both the good and challenging times. Consistency builds trust, fosters security, and demonstrates that the care they offer is not fleeting or circumstantial, but rooted in something deeper and more meaningful. Care is not proven by moments of grandeur, but by the steady, unwavering commitment to showing up day after day, to show us how to move forward, as we move forward together to eventually see and surprise our dreams. Care is not proven by moments of grandeur, but by the steady, unwavering commitment to showing up, day after day. When someone's behavior is inconsistent, it raises questions about the sincerity of their care. A person who is warm and attentive one day, but cold and distant the next, creates confusion and uncertainty. This kind of inconsistency can make you feel as though you're walking on unstable ground, unsure of where you stand with them. Genuine care is not unpredictable. It is dependable. It doesn't leave you guessing whether someone values you or whether they will be there when you need them. Consistency in affection is also a vital sign of true care. Someone who truly cares will not withhold their love or attention as a form of manipulation or punishment. They won't make you feel as though their affection is something you have to earn or fight for. Instead, their love will be consistent, offered freely and unconditionally. Inconsistent affection often signals that their care is superficial, driven more by convenience or personal gain than by genuine concern for your well-being. Attention is another area where consistency reveals the depth of care. People who truly care will make an ongoing effort to stay engaged in your life. They will remember the things you've shared with them, follow up on your challenges, and celebrate your successes. Their attention is not sporadic or dependent on their mood. It is a steady presence that reassures you of their commitment. One can say so much about a person. On the other hand, someone who only pays attention when it benefits them or when they have nothing else to do is demonstrating a lack of genuine care. It's important to recognize that consistency doesn't mean perfection. Everyone has off days, moments of stress, or times when they may fall short. However, the key difference lies in the pattern of behavior. A genuinely caring person will be consistent in their overall effort, even if they occasionally falter. Their care will remain evident over time, proving that their commitment to you is not dependent on external circumstances. Inconsistent behavior often reveals a deeper issue, the absence of authentic care. People who are inconsistent may not value the relationship enough to invest in it fully, or they may be unwilling to put in the effort required to sustain it. Their actions or lack thereof speak louder than their words, revealing that their care is superficial or even non-existent. This inconsistency can be emotionally draining, leaving you feeling undervalued and unsupported. Successful people believe that not only the success in their marriages and relationship, but also in healthy relationships. Consistency is not just about what someone does, it's also about what they don't do. A consistent person avoids behaviors that undermine trust or create unnecessary pain. They don't disappear without explanation, fail to follow through on their promises, or treat you differently depending on their mood or the situation. Their care is a constant in your life, providing a sense of stability and assurance that you can rely on. When someone is consistent in their care, it sends a powerful message. You matter to me, and I'm committed to showing it. This kind of care is intentional and deliberate, built on a foundation of respect, love, and a genuine desire to see you thrive. It doesn't waver when things get tough or when circumstances change. Instead, it stands firm, proving that their care is not conditional or temporary, but enduring and real. On the other hand, inconsistency undermines the very essence of care. It creates doubt, breeds insecurity, and erodes trust. It forces you to question whether the relationship is worth your time and effort. Genuine care does the opposite. It reassures, strengthens, and uplifts. Recognizing the difference between consistent and inconsistent care is essential for protecting your heart and ensuring that you invest in relationships that are truly life-giving. Ultimately, consistency is not just a mark of genuine care, it is the foundation upon which all meaningful relationships are built. Without it, care becomes unreliable and relationships become unstable. With it, you find security, trust, and the assurance that you are valued for who you are, not just for what you can offer. Accountability is a sign of true concern. When someone truly cares about you, they take responsibility for their words, actions, and commitments. They do not make promises lightly, and when they do, they ensure those promises are fulfilled. Genuine care comes with a sense of integrity, a willingness to acknowledge mistakes, and a commitment to making things right. Accountability is not just about fulfilling obligations. It's about demonstrating respect for the relationship and the trust that has been placed in them. People who care deeply understand that their actions affect others. They recognize that breaking a promise, missing an important moment, or neglecting their responsibilities has consequences, and they take those consequences seriously. When they fall short, which everyone does from time to time, they don't hide behind excuses or shift the blame. Instead, they own their shortcomings, apologize sincerely, and make a conscious effort to do better. This willingness to be accountable reflects the depth of their concern and their commitment to maintaining the relationship. And this commitment defines unconditional love, no matter what. On the other hand, when someone lacks accountability, it often indicates a lack of genuine care. Excuses and justifications are used as shields to avoid taking responsibility, which ultimately reveals a disregard for the feelings and needs of others. A person who truly cares will not consistently let you down without explanation or effort to make amends. Excuses are often a sign that someone is more focused on protecting their own comfort or ego than on nurturing the connection they share with you. I know for me, when I was focused on preparation, I wasn't focusing enough on connecting and sharing my faith. Accountability is also about reliability. A caring person doesn't leave you questioning whether they will follow through on their word. They understand that trust is built over time through consistent and dependable actions. If someone frequently cancels plans, forgets commitments, or fails to show up when it matters, it sends a clear message that they are not prioritizing the relationship. Care and accountability go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. One must respect the other person's freedom as a priority. Accountability go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. Trust, certainty, and personal accountability. True accountability also involves a willingness to listen and adapt. When someone cares, they are open to feedback and willing to address areas where they may have fallen short. They do not see accountability as a burden, but as an opportunity to grow and strengthen the relationship. They value your perspective and are eager to ensure that their actions align with their words. This openness to self-reflection is a powerful indicator of genuine care. Conversely, a lack of accountability often leads to repeated patterns of hurt and disappointment. When someone refuses to take responsibility for their actions, it leaves the other person feeling unheard, undervalued, and disrespected. This cycle can erode trust and create a sense of instability in the relationship. True care does the opposite. It fosters trust, builds security, and creates an environment where both parties feel valued and supported. Accountability also reflects a deeper level of maturity and selflessness. It requires someone to put their pride aside and prioritize the well-being of the relationship over their own comfort. A person who is willing to admit when they're wrong, apologize, and make amends demonstrates that they value the connection more than their own ego. This humility is a hallmark of genuine care and shows a commitment to preserving and nurturing the relationship. When someone holds themselves accountable, they communicate that they take the relationship seriously. Their actions say, "You matter to me, and I am committed to doing what it takes to honor that." This sense of responsibility creates a foundation of trust and respect, allowing the relationship to grow and thrive. Without accountability, however, care becomes superficial, and the relationship lacks the depth needed to withstand challenges. Recognizing accountability as a sign of true concern is essential for understanding the health of your relationships. People who genuinely care will consistently show up, take responsibility, and make an effort to ensure that their actions align with their words. Excuses, on the other hand, reveal a lack of regard and a lack of investment in the connection. True care is always accompanied by accountability. And where accountability is absent, concern is absent as well. Likewise, if the fruit always reveals the tree. Just as a tree is identified by the fruit it bears, so too are people known by the outcomes of their actions. Jesus said, "By their fruits you will know them," emphasizing that genuine care always produces visible, positive results. Love, kindness, and concern cannot remain hidden. They manifest in the form of consistent, tangible expressions that bring life and growth to those who experience them. Care, when it is real, leaves a trail of evidence, acts of support, encouragement, sacrifice, and presence that cannot be overlooked. A healthy tree naturally produces good fruit, just as genuine care produces outcomes that uplift and nurture. When someone truly cares, their actions will reflect it unmistakably. You'll see it in the way they prioritize your needs, in how they listen attentively, and in their willingness to go the extra mile. Their care will leave you feeling valued, supported, and strengthened, not drained or confused. The fruit of their care will bring clarity and peace, not uncertainty or chaos. Conversely, when there is no fruit, it is a clear sign that genuine care is absent. If someone consistently makes promises but never fulfills them, or if their words of concern are not backed up by meaningful action, it reveals the truth about their heart. Words alone are not enough. Care is demonstrated by the fruit it produces, whether that fruit is emotional support, time spent together, or acts of service. Without these visible signs, what remains is merely an empty declaration. It's also important to recognize that bad fruit is just as telling as no fruit. A tree that produces sour or spoiled fruit indicates a deeper problem at its roots. Similarly, care that is manipulative, controlling, or conditional is not genuine. True care brings joy, peace, and growth, while false care often leaves behind pain, confusion, and insecurity. When the fruit of someone's actions consistently causes harm or discomfort, it reveals a lack of true concern, regardless of what they may claim. The fruit also reflects effort. A tree doesn't bear fruit by accident. It requires the right environment, attention, and nourishment. In the same way, relationships require intentional effort to flourish. Someone who genuinely cares will invest in the relationship, ensuring that their actions consistently yield positive outcomes. They will water the soil of the connection with patience, kindness, and understanding, ensuring that the relationship grows strong and healthy. Where there is no investment, there will be no fruit. Another important aspect of this truth is that fruit takes time to grow. Genuine care is not always about instant results, it's about sustained effort over time. A tree does not bear fruit overnight, but with consistent care, it will eventually produce a harvest. Similarly, someone who truly cares may not always get it right immediately, but their continued effort and commitment will eventually bear fruit. Any step towards God's perfect love is affectionate and leads to promises. The absence of instant results does not mean care is lacking. It is the absence of effort over time that reveals the truth. The fruit also speaks to the impact of care on others. Just as good fruit provides nourishment and sustenance, genuine care has a life-giving effect on those who receive it. It strengthens, heals, and empowers. If someone's actions consistently leave you feeling neglected, drained, or diminished, it's a sign that their care is not genuine. True care enriches your life and contributes positively to your growth and well-being. It's easy to get caught up in appearances or words, but the fruit is where the truth lies. People can say all the right things or present themselves in a favorable light, but their actions and the results of those actions will always tell the real story. Genuine care produces visible, positive outcomes. And where there is no fruit, there is no care. There is no care. Recognizing this allows you to discern the authenticity of the relationships in your life and to focus your energy on those that truly nurture and support you. Ultimately, the fruit reveals the heart. When someone cares, it cannot help but show. Their actions will speak louder than their words, leaving behind evidence of their love and commitment. True care always bears good fruit, and by that fruit you will know the depth and sincerity of their concern. In the end, life is too precious to invest in relationships where care is absent and love is merely a word without substance. Genuine care, like a tree planted by the rivers of water, produces fruit that nourishes, strengthens, and uplifts. It is seen in consistent actions, felt in meaningful sacrifices, revealed through accountability, and proven by the priorities people establish. True care doesn't waver, doesn't make excuses, and doesn't leave you guessing about where you stand. Rest in relative immortality. Jesus said, "By their fruits you will know them," reminding us that love, concern, and care are not hidden. They are made manifest in what people do and how they show up in your life. If the fruits of care are missing, if there is no consistency, no accountability, no sacrifice, no priority, then the truth is undeniable. Care is absent. Do not settle for words that sound good but lack the foundation of action. Value yourself enough to discern the difference between those who truly care and those who simply speak of it. Surround yourself with people who reflect love through their actions, who build you up rather than break you down, and who water the seeds of your potential so that you may flourish. I'm not saying go for what you donate, because the truth is this: where care is real, it grows, it bears fruit, and it blesses. And where it is absent, it withers, leaving you empty and unfulfilled. Choose wisely. Value yourself. And never forget that the greatest evidence of care is not what is said, but what is consistently done. Let the fruits of care guide you in every relationship, for they reveal the heart of the tree.